In this video, I'm going to give you some simple tips you can start doing right away that can help to protect your heart and potentially even to prevent a heart attack if you're over 40. All of the tips that I share with you, I do daily to keep my heart healthy. They're simple to use, they're cheap, and anyone can do this stuff with a little bit of effort. So that is what I'm going to share with you in this video. So with that said, let's get on with the video. Now, before I get into the tips, what you need to know is the number one cause of death globally is heart attacks. Heart attacks kill more people than cancer and any other disease or condition out there. So it really pays to protect your heart, especially once you get over 40 and especially 50, because we all, at the end of the day, we all slack in our diets and we don't do enough exercise at times, and all of these sort of little bad habits that creep into our lifestyle could potentially stack up, and down the road could potentially even lead to bad heart health or maybe even a heart attack. So let's prevent that from happening by creating healthy daily habits. So with that said, let's get into the tips. Now, the first thing I've learned, because just to give you a bit of context of where I picked up, is because I'm not a doctor or anything like that. I'm just a normal guy, but I'm really interested in health and wellness and protecting my health. So I've read all of the research out there of how to protect your heart and what causes heart attacks. And just before I give you the tips, what does actually cause a heart attack? Well, from all of the research I've seen, the high cholesterol, high fat myth we've all been sold is a lie. Heart attacks mostly begin, sort of happen because people are either diabetic or pre-diabetic, got uncontrolled insulin levels, high blood sugar. This creates massive inflammation in the body, and more importantly, inflammation inside your arteries and blood vessels. The endothelium, which is the inner part of the artery, becomes inflamed. That causes the immune send cholesterol and fats to the area to fix it. And what that happens, that creates plaque buildup. And obviously, the more inflammation it is, it creates like a very sticky, sort of like pussy type sort of plaque. And this is the plaque that can rupture, and that is what causes a heart attack. So basically, it's a soft, sort of very soft, gooey, pussy type plaque that is the dangerous one that can snap off, get lodged in your artery, and that's what causes a heart attack. Now, if you're over 40 or 50, chances are you've already got plaque in your arteries, but if it's hard and solid and stable, it isn't going to cause a problem. It's the soft, sticky, unstable plaque that we need to fix, and the number one way you do that is by reducing inflammation in your arteries and around the body and keeping your insulin and blood sugar levels under control. So the first thing you need to do is reduce your carb and sugar intake by reducing, pretty much if you can eliminate sugar from your diet, great. But if you've got to have sugar, stay away from refined sugars as much as you can. Of course, you can maybe have a treat day, but massively reduce your sugar intake. Even fruits, like eating too much fruit, like bananas, very sugary fruit, you need to be careful with that, because a lot of people think the sugar in fruit is okay to eat as much as you can. Sugar is sugar at the end of the day, so you need to watch your sugar intake and either eliminate it or keep it as low as possible, because the more sugar you have in the day, the more times you have it, it's going to spike your blood's insulin levels, and that is going to cause problems in your artery with inflammation. So yeah, keep your carbs, I would say, under 30 to 50 grams a day, and try and reduce your sugar intake as much as possible. And by doing this one thing alone, you're going to stay away from diabetes, you're going to reduce inflammation in your arteries, and you're going to sort of really eliminate that soft plaque in your arteries. So that's the first thing you need to do. And also in terms of the diet I have, I try and eat a lot of protein because I'm actually trying to bulk up a bit. I'm 49, by the way, so I'm trying to bulk up. So I have a lot of lean, sort of protein like chicken. I eat bacon, which is fine in my opinion. But also, I usually start my day with eggs and salad on a very small piece of sourdough. Then after that, I'll maybe have a bowl of natural yogurt with some fruits and stuff like that. But yeah, for lunch I usually have protein like eggs, something like that, or chicken and a bit of salad. And then for dinner I usually have, chicken, veggies and that kind of thing. So, I usually try and stay away from a lot of carbs. Don't get me wrong, I still have pasta. I still have a cheat meal, still have the odd chicken burger and fries. And I still do enjoy pasta, but I really try and keep, my carbs low and sugar low. And I try and avoid snacking. I really try and avoid snacking. But so the point is really watch your diet. Have lots of good fats, sort of extra high quality extra virgin olive oil. Pure butter's fine. Even high quality ghee is fine. Fatty meat is fine. Have plenty of protein, but just keep the carbs lower and eliminate the sugar. Now, the next sort of going on from that, I walk 30 minutes every day, non-negotiable. First thing in the morning after my breakfast, I'll go out and have a good walk. And on my walk, there's actually a very steep hill I walk up. It's probably about 100, it's probably about 100 yards long, but it's very steep. So I really walk really quickly up there. Up the top of the hill, you can really feel my heart pumping. So that's kind of like really good to add on the walk as well, a bit of resistance training. But walking is great, just gets you moving, gets the blood flow going. And obviously if you can find any hills, to walk up, great, because that's really going to get your heart moving and it just gets the blood flowing around. Because what I found out is that if you're going to have a heart attack, it's likely going to happen in the morning because you're dehydrated. So your blood can be very sticky. You've got high cortisol levels, so it increases inflammation. And all of these factors combine, meaning you're at the most risk of having a heart attack in the morning. So, I go for a 30-minute morning walk, so I advise you go for a walk, hydrate properly, and that is just going to reduce your cortisol levels, reduce your stress levels. You're going to hydrate through drinking water, and then obviously, get your blood moving, get your heart moving is a great thing to do. Now, the next thing I do this about 3 times a week, is I lift weights, do bicep curls, lots of different weightlifting exercises, because, once you get over 40, you really start losing muscle mass, and it's really important to maintain muscle mass and increase it. So I lift weights. I do it at home. I've got kettlebells, I've got dumbbells, do, weighted squats, dumbbell, bicep curls, shoulder presses, and all that kind of stuff. I do try and get in about 50 press ups a day as well. And all of this as well just keeps muscle strong, but it also torches sugar and keeps your insulin levels low as well. And obviously it's a great workout for your heart, because if you're doing this quick, it's like a mini HIIT session. I don't hang around doing this. I do my squats, my bicep curls, shoulder presses, and all of this combined, makes my muscle stronger, increases muscle strength, increases muscle size. It's also a great workout for your heart as well. Another thing that I do sort of like once or twice a week is do, say, 5 minutes of HIIT training. HIIT training is incredibly good for the heart and increasing your VO2 max level, which is basically all it is a measure of how efficiently your body uses oxygen for fuel. The higher the VO2 max you have, basically the fitter you are. So, if you want to do some HIIT training, what I do is I generally, if I want to do it at home, I'll do some jumping jacks, explosive jumping. I also do, shuttle sprints as well. Be careful if you're doing sprinting. Don't jump off really quickly, because if you're not warmed up, you can actually really hurt your Achilles tendon or pull your hamstring. So if you're doing sprints, just start off slowly and build up speed. And you can either do shuttle sprints over about 20 yards, or you can just run 100 yards. But like I said, accelerate slowly and build up to your maximum speed. By doing this just for a couple of minutes, it's really going to give your body a workout. It's really going to get your heart pumping, and it's HIIT training, whether it's sprints, jumping jacks, explosive jumps, whatever, is so good for your heart health. Now, the last 2 things I'm going to give you are basically things I take on a daily basis. Now, I take cayenne pepper daily. Cayenne pepper has saved so many people from dying from heart attacks. I've researched this and listened to doctors, physicians, even vets, saying people have had heart attacks, they've shoved a small teaspoon of cayenne pepper in the mouth, and basically it's brought them back to life. Now, cayenne pepper is a great sort of, it's a herb. It's kind of like a chili. It's part of a chili family, but it's not too hot. It's just got some nice heat. But it's basically got capsaicin in, which basically helps move blood around the body and helps to vasodilate your veins and arteries. And it is said that if you take cayenne pepper, it can move all of the blood around your body in a minute, and it can also reduce blood clots as well. So I take cayenne pepper daily, just to help move the blood flow, reduce, makes it less thick, get the blood moving in the body. And if you take it, you might have a hot flush, which basically means your blood vessels in your body are dilating. Now, how I take it, I usually put quarter of a teaspoon to half a teaspoon I put it in another spoon, and then I add really high quality extra virgin olive oil on it, and I just take it. I'm used to it now. If that is difficult for you, what you can do is, if you have eggs in the morning, you can sprinkle cayenne pepper on your eggs, which I sometimes do as well. But you can also make a cayenne pepper shot. You put, cayenne pepper in a small glass, say half a teaspoon, add a tablespoon of extra virgin olive oil, squeeze half a lemon in there, and then get some really high quality honey just for taste. Mix it together, knock it back, and you're getting cayenne pepper. But cayenne pepper is such a powerful herb for moving blood around the body and preventing heart attacks. In fact, some people who have got heart problems actually carry a small bag of cayenne pepper in their pocket. So if they start getting chest pains or they think they're having a heart attack, they take some cayenne pepper and it could potentially save your life. This is fact. I've heard so many cases of how cayenne pepper have saved people from having heart attacks. Now, the next thing I do on a daily basis is increase my nitric oxide levels in the blood. Now, nitric oxide levels in the blood decrease as we get older, so it's incredibly important, especially over 40, that you help your body to create nitric oxide. Nitric oxide is an incredibly important gas in the body because what it helps to do is dilate your arteries and blood vessels by relaxing the endothelium, which is the inner lining of veins and arteries. By doing this, it can reduce blood pressure, obviously help blood flow around the body easier. And again, obviously, if it's dilating your blood vessels, you're less likely to have a heart attack. So how can you increase nitric oxide in the blood? Now, there's some foods you can eat. You can have watermelon, which is rich in L-arginine and L-citrulline, which is an amino acid which boosts nitric oxide. Beetroots are great because they contain nitrates. And obviously anything with nitrates in goes in the blood, creates nitric oxide. But what I tend to do is I take this supplement. It's called NO Max. As you can see here, I get this from Supplement Place, which is a UK company. But if you're not in the UK, there's other companies that do stuff like this. But basically, it's got L-citrulline in, beetroot extracts, grapeseed extract, amaranth extract, Mediterranean pine bark, Panax Korean ginseng, S7 providing green coffee bean extract, green tea, turmeric extract, tart cherry, blueberry, broccoli and kale, and niacin, vitamin B3 that also helps to dilate blood vessels. So I take 1 or 2 scoops a day, usually with an electrolyte powder, and that just helps to keep, helps my body create nitric oxide, dilates my blood vessels and veins. When I take it, sometimes I feel a flush, which basically means all of the veins in my body are dilating and the blood's starting to move round. So those are my tips of how you can keep your heart healthy and potentially prevent a heart attack over 40. I really hope you found these tips useful. I do these tips pretty much every day. And it just gives me peace of mind that I'm doing everything I can to keep my heart healthy and to prevent a heart attack to the best of my ability. If you got value from the video, want to like, want to subscribe, want to hype the video, thanks for joining me, and I'll speak to you soon.